Second time in this particular car tonight for Chris. Y'all watch the inside of row number 3. Big A, we're about to get the green flag here for heat race number 1. And we're underway with the 5th annual Bryan Mize Memorial. And it looks like Braden Wyatt going to be your early race leader. Off of turn number 2, the second spot is Cody Miller of the 25M. Look at him, stacking up right behind one another. Big A as we come off of turn number 4. Miller going to get sideways.
Right behind him, the 11 Luttrell, but here comes the 18B of Cody Smith. Cody Smith working that high side, going to be 3 wide into a 2.
I didn't know 3 wide was possible in a place like this, buddy. They just proved us wrong. And look, coming up from the back, Chad Williams already up to that 5th spot.
And problems with the 93 of Chris Davis. He's going to take it off the track.
Tough break for Chris Davis in the 93X machine. His heat race is going to be done. Oh, and we've got 2 of them going to stop over in turn number 1.
The 00 Tori Yant and the 6 of Chase Vineyard.
We are going to have to get a yellow, ladies and gentlemen. Caution will come out here in heat race number 1. The 00 of Tori Yant coming to a stop, and looked like the 6 of Chase Vineyard trying to stop to avoid contact, and unfortunately both those cars coming together. Yant, Big A, unable to get, oh, there it goes. Just as I say, unable to get it refired, it looks like it fires back up. Loose off at turn number 4. We got to watch that 18 on the outside. Cody Smith, when he gets to pick his line, you know he's going to be comfortable.
He loves that outside. And we're underway.
Back into turn number 1 we go. Wyatt still your race leader. Smith getting a good run there. Oh, problems for the 25M of Cody Miller. Miller going to go from 3rd all the way to the back with a bad run off of turn 2. Looks like 3 laps complete that time by for your leader, Braden Wyatt, out in front. Look at the run for the 7M of Chad Williams there, Big A, already up to 3rd spot.
And Chad Williams has had some bad luck here this year at RPM Speedway, so he needs a good run tonight to turn his luck around, and he looks like he's doing it in this heat race right now.
I was going to say, I don't really want to jinx him, but man, look at him on the bottom. He's got that good line on the inside. You've almost got to bring the car to a stop. These turns are so tight here at RPM Speedway, and Williams working the bottom side of turn number 3 and 4, 5 down and 3 to go this time by.
Wyatt is the class of the field right now out front in the 65. Luttrell in the 11, he's in 4th, but he's going to try to make a good run out of 2 to try to catch the 7 of Williams.
2 to go from the flag stand this time by, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Williams going to get very sideways in 3 and 4. We might have jinxed him, Big A, because the 11 machine, that's Eric Luttrell, got by him like he was on blocks there off of turn number 4.
And Tori Yant, the 00, bringing out the caution. That last caution, he's already up to 5th.
White flag in the air for your race leader, Braden Wyatt. And Braden started on the inside of that front row and has led since the drop of the green flag. One we've been watching, Cody Smith coming from 6th to 2nd. Like we said, passing points tonight, name of the game, my friend. The checkered flag gonna wave for the 65 of Braden Wyatt. 2nd spot from that 6th position, gonna be the 18B of Cody Smith. 3rd, how about a good run for Eric Luttrell? 4th, gonna be the 7 from the back of Chad Williams. That's gonna be your hard charger in the heat race right there. So our driver pulling triple duty tonight, driving everything but a modified Mr. Chase Hatton inside of row number 2, driving that 210 machine. Big A, we are going green. And look at them, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Your early leader going to be the 15B of Thomas Blackwell. Big A, we are live right now on RaceOnTexas.com's Facebook page, bringing you a live look in for what you're missing tonight at the Bryan Mize Memorial. You've still got time to order that pay-per-view broadcast. You get to hear every single word that Big A and I say. I don't know if that's a selling point or not, but I'm going to say it is. You get to watch every lap of every race live from RaceOnTexas.com. Right now we're watching heat race number 2 for the USRA Limited Modifieds. We got 2 of them taking a scenic route through the infield. Looks like Cale Westover and the 15J of Josh Graham.
But out front, your leader, the 15B, Thomas Blackwell. Blackwell's a veteran at this track and over what used to be Thunderbird Speedway. He knows he can drive this track blindfolded.
We get to see old Thomas Blackwell down at Heart of Texas Speedway occasionally. Looks like a tough break for Dean Abbey in the 26 machine. He was your winner last year at Kennedale Speedway Park in the Sport Mod division of the Bryan Mize Memorial. Unfortunately for Dean, it looks like a long road to hoe tonight as we cross halfway. Big A, 4 down, 4 to go.
Oh, we got one around on the front straightaway, the 210 of Hatton. 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 210 of
That is the Texas RV Outlet sponsored number 210 machine. Chase Hatton, like we said, pulling triple duty here tonight. Hopefully in the other two divisions, his night goes a little bit better. The guy with the plan right now, Big A, out front by over a straightaway is the 15B of Thomas Blackwell. What a run for Thomas tonight.
He's got that car dialed in as we got 2 laps to go. In second, the 13J of James McCrary. And in third, the 7T of Trevor Rainey. And we got one around in turn 3 and 4, but he's going to keep it going. That was the 15J of Josh Graham.
Josh Graham taking the scenic route through the infield once again. White flag in the air for Thomas Blackwell in the 15B machine. What a run tonight, taking it from the inside of that front row. So far, both are winners. I should knock on wood first. Checker flag ain't out yet, but it seems like the front row on the inside been the place to start, as Blackwell going to get the win here in limited modified heat race number 2. The battle is the one for third off of turn number 3. Tyler Bragg going to get together with the 7T of Trevor Rainey. They're going to rub one another down the front straightaway. It's going to be Bragg with that third spot, and Rainey going to come home in fourth. Your winner for heat race number 2, ladies and gentlemen, was the 15B of Thomas Blackwell. What a run for the driver of that 15B machine. Second spot went to James McCreary. Third was the 24T of Tyler Bragg, and fourth, the 7T of Trevor Rainey. I'm going to be impressed off the inside of that front row. Rookie Kane Buckmeyer in the 69X, going to bring him to the green flag this time around. Look at the jump off the outside, Big A, for Matt Goswick in the 121. He's going to be your early race leader.
And shooting to the bottom, going to try to make a run. It's the 25C of Tommy Davis Jr.
That was good. That was a good run right there. Tommy Davis going to do the same thing off the inside of turn number 4. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Davis ping-ponging there off the 29 machine of Jonathan Powers. Big A, they are neck and neck down the back straightaway.
And look at Buckmeyer. He's going to hold a spot in the second spot. He's doing good, holding it nice and straight. He's going to try to wheel in the first place car, the 121 of Goswick.
Not a bad run at all for a rookie. Like I said, these limited modifieds are a real tricky car to drive. They don't like to turn the way that they're set up. The cars are very tight just by their nature. You've really got to manhandle it around this place, and it's really good to see a rookie hanging out there with these veteran race car drivers sitting in that second spot.
Well, he has a good driver working on his car, having the car at the shop. That's Tommy Davis Jr. So he has a good guy looking up to, helping him out week in and week out. And it's starting to show with this race right here, as he is in second spot.
Coming under fire from Powers in the third position. Here comes Jonathan Powers on the inside of the 29J machine. What a run off of turn number 2. Should be 5 laps complete. That time by 3 to go. Your leader still the 121 of Matt Goswick. A straightaway plus advantage over Buckmeyer in that 69 machine. The 29 of Jonathan Powers and the 25 of Tommy Davis Jr. round out your top 4 right now, Big A. Coming to 2 to go this time around. The 121 machine of Matt Goswick has taken the lead, took the lead off the get-go, and hasn't looked back yet, my friend.
No, he hasn't. I'm just surprised that Tommy Davis Jr. in the 25C is sitting in the 4th spot with 1 lap to go this time. But here comes the 67 of Wendell Bolden. He's trying to make a push on the 25C of Davis.
Yeah, Bolden got a good run on the bottom of the racetrack there. That 67 working the inside really well. Looks like he hit a problem off of turn number 4, so Davis able to hold on to that 4th spot. The checker flag is out. The win going to go to the 121 of Matt Goswick. Second spot going to be anybody's game off of turn number 4. Give it up for the rookie, Kane Buckmeyer, in second spot.
That was an impressive run for the 69X of Kane Buckmeyer.
Absolutely, and not really blocking off anybody, not closing the door on anybody. Jonathan Powers just coming up in that 3rd position, and your 4th spot going to go to the 25C of Tommy Davis Jr.
Indiana.
Oh, my gosh, congratulations. Thanks so much, I guess I should say, to Alvin Featherston for driving all the way down here from Indiana. What a tow, long tow award for sure for the driver inside row 2. Big A, we are green off of turn 4. And it looks like Bo Day going to be your early race leader. Oh, and Featherston had some trouble there. Going to lose a couple spots. He'll shuffle back to 6th position on the racetrack. We come off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. It's a hot one up front with Day out in front and Ashcraft a close second.
Ashcraft right there with him, but it's going to be Bo Day, your leader down the back straightaway, followed by Ashcraft. In third, the 135, Bobby Parker.
The 17 machine in 4th spot, like I said, Jeff Shepard out of Waco, Texas. He's got 3 wins at Heart of Texas Speedway this season, and I tell you just how good that is. We ran 23 nights of racing there this season. We had 14 different winners and 23 nights at Heart of Texas Speedway. So for Shepard to pull off 3 victories in a single season, that's pretty impressive.
Heart of Texas always has a stout class when it comes to Southern Sport Mods.
Yes.
And Shepard is one of those shoes in that division. No matter where he goes, he's a contender to win.
Absolutely, man. A brand new Hellion race car built by Brian Walker this year. We're watching him right now in 4th spot. He started in the 5th position, so not as many passing points as we might have hoped. But right now, your race leader walking the dog on him here, putting on a clinic, is the 4 machine of Bo Day.
And up to 3rd steals the 135 of Bobby Parker. And a good battle for 5th, the 58 of Tyler Honeywell. And
leaning on him a little bit there. That's the, I believe that's the 7D of Donnie Duff. Nope, yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's the 10. He's driving the 10. That's Duffer.
So the 2 to go this time. That was a good run there for 5th spot. Honeywell making the move. And like we've said, ladies and gentlemen, it's not necessarily where you finish. It's how many cars you pass to get there. Honeywell's picked up 3 spots right now to be where he's at on the racetrack.
One more time around for the 4 of Bo Day. He's making it look easy out there right now.
I tell you what, the guys that race this track a lot more often than some of these others probably have a little bit of an advantage, because this is a very unique shape of racetrack. It's a long straightaway for this size and some very tight corners as the checker flag waves for Bo Day. 2nd spot going to be Ashcraft in that 56. 3rd spot will be the 135 of Bobby Parker, and it looks like Jeff Shepard going to round out the top 4.
Next to him, and by the way, Chad is in a Mopar. That is our Chrysler product. And right next to him, the 33 out of Lake Worth, Texas, Keith Ross. And rounding out the field, the 4X of Josh Landers. Gonna kind of redo that just a little bit, get them all lined back out. Some of these cars, sports modified type frames. Some of these cars are limited modified. And we also have the old 3-link modified.
How many are y'all checking in the tech?
None. Racing again, the 147, Kevin Webb on the front. On the inside, the 22, Bobby Otts. On the outside, the 21, Gil Faber. Here comes the getting them spun around in the big first lap. Cautions out for the 22 and the 21 of Gil Faber. 22, Bobby Otts. 2 cars come around the front side by side, and we're going racing for heat race number 1. And we're getting them turned around. Cautions out. Ladies and gentlemen, the tires on these cars are NASCAR pull-offs. They are slick. There are no grooves. There's nothing to them. Sometimes they just don't stick as well, and as you can see in the last 2 laps, we've had some cars having a little bit of problem. They have to build up a little bit of heat for them to stick, and unfortunately some of them weren't quite hot enough. Look the cars over. Pick out your favorite driver and root him on to victory as we're going heat race number 1 for the Southern Topless Economy Modifieds, and we are racing. The 22 Bobby Otts pulling down the backstretch. Here comes the 4X. Josh Landers underneath him trying to go as the 21 of Gil Faber doesn't quite make it as Bobby Otts leads lap number 1. Faber on the bottom, Landers on the top. Faber taking that 2nd spot. But I bet you that fight's not over with yet as Otts gets it sideways in turn 1 and 2. Racing stays green as we got a new leader, the 21, Gil Faber, right behind him, the 4X, Josh Landers, the 28, Matt Deaver, the 147, Kevin K-Man Webb, and then the 22, Bobby Otts. as the car's getting strung out, but I'll bet you that fight for the front is not over with yet. Faber out front right now as we're coming around for halfway with the 4X of Josh Landers in that second spot. The 28 Matt Deaver, new to the Southern Topless Economy Modifieds. This is his first race in this series. Faber's got that Ford wound up as he's coming around for the next lap. The 4X, Josh Landers in the Lone Star refinishing entry, staying ahead of that 28 of Matt Deaver. Deaver sponsored by Meteor Hamburgers and Waltz Racing Engines as we've got 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. Down the backstretch, the 21, that Ford of Gil Faber, sponsored by Custom Machine Shop and Sam's Barbecue for the white flag as we have a change for the second spot. Deaver trying to challenge on the bottom. Who's it gonna be? Gonna be a close one. Gil Faber comes in the first spot. The 28, Matt Deaver in the second spot. The 4X, Josh Landers. Then the 22, Bobby Otts, and the 147 of Kevin Webb. Current points leader, the 6P, Patrick Speedy Fields. Then the 85, Tim Simmons, a 2-time feature race winner this year. The 61, the Ford of Kelly the Iceman Wilburn. The 29, another 2-time feature race winner, Zach Big Bird Crawford. And the 21X of Cole Landers. And we are racing heat race. Hatton get a good jump as we got a little bit of a traffic jam up front. Hatton gets that first lap. The Cole car, the 44 of Mr. Cobbler Bowles, holding down second spot. Here comes Tim Simmons on the bottom, the 61. Kelly the Iceman on the 4th spot. The 6P Patrick Field trying to find a way to go on the top of the racetrack. As that L8 of Chase Hatton getting a little bit of distance on the rest of the field. Simmons pulling a little distance on the 61 of Kelly Welburn. But Kelly Welburn moving up a little bit as the 44 of Dennis Bowles. Oh, we got a little bit of a spin and some contact. Everybody keeps going as we shut things down for a spin in turn number 3 and 4. As we're racing again in the heat race with that L8, Chase Hatton taking where he is left off in the earlier part of the race. Here comes the 61, Kelly Welburn. The 29 going underneath him, his teammate, Zach Crawford. Big Bird's got it rolling. That Hoffman car pulling that front wheel off the ground. He is getting some traction, giving chase to that 8 car of Chase Hatton. The 61, Kelly the Iceman Welburn holding down spot number 3. Here comes a 75 as we go to caution. For the 21X, Mr. Cole Little Teeter Landers, first time racing this year in the Southern Topless Economy Modified Series. 61 Kelly Iceman Welburn in that second row. As we are racing, here comes Big Bird on the bottom, and he just slides by him. But I'll bet you Chase Hatton's going, nah, I'm going to do something different. And he gets up in that loose stuff as well and slides back to the 4th spot. Kelly Welburn holding down the 2nd spot. The 85 of Tim Simmons, and a little bit of contact there. Get everybody going again. Simmons holding down the 3rd spot. The 75, Vance Crawford, holding up the top as he is rolling, slowing down. With 2 laps to go, the 29, Zach Crawford, got a good lead over his teammate, the 61 of Kelly Welburn, holding down that 2nd spot. The 85, Tim Simmons, 3rd. The L8, Chase Hatton holding the 4th. then the 45 or the Mopar. But coming around for the checkered flag, the 29, Zach Crawford out of Princeton, Texas. The 61, Kelly the Iceman Welburn in the Ford in second spot. The 85, Tim Simmons third. The L8, Chase Hatton in the fourth. The 44, Dennis Bowles in fifth. And the 75, Vance Crawford.
Light, white Ford truck, KZV 9512. Your truck's still running.
Green flag out for Touring Outlaw Modified Series heat race number 1, and Kel Westover immediately to the top spot in the turn number 1. Takes a wild push. Here comes the 010 of Jeremy Willis to take over that lead.
Jeremy Willis out front, but here comes the 15. Kel Westover. Westover a little beat and banging. He's going to take over the lead. Here comes the 7X of Rory Jordan.
Rory Jordan looking at the bottom of turns 1 and 2, as is Willis. Kel Westover, maybe a little bit of nudge out of the way over there in turn number 3. Westover going to be your leader working lap number 2 right now. Willis at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3. Not going to be enough. Big A Westover still your race leader.
Jordan trying to take over the second spot in turn number 1 away from the 010. Willis fighting back on the outside, side by side out of 2.
That's some good, close racing right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wheel to wheel coming into turn number 3. Off of 4. Willis up top. Jordan through the middle. Jordan going to take over second spot. Willis now coming under fire from the Z-Man. Zach McMillan working the bottom of turn number 1.
McMillan, he's running that bottom line. He's going to take over the third spot down the back straightaway into turn number 3. But here comes the 010 of Jeremy Willis fighting back on the outside.
It don't get no closer than that, ladies and gentlemen. There ain't room for the Holy Spirit between them boys. They come down the front straightaway back into turn number 1. We are side by side now for the 4th spot. That's the 88 machine of Sean Gamage from 8th spot right now. Big 8 battling for 4th.
But checking out the 15W, Kel Westover. He's doing what we thought he would do.
When you're in that top spot in a passing points kind of game, Big A, you got to do what you got to do. You've got to win. If you're on the front, you've got to bring it home, because otherwise you're in the negative, man. You're in the red. You're losing points for every car that goes by. As Westover takes the 2 to go already, it's Jordan up to second, McMillan in third, and that 4th spot get him a basket full of passing points. Sean Gamage in the 88.
Gamage, he's going to try to look for more down the back straightaway. He's going to be all over the back bumper, the 14 into 3, as we got one more time around for the 15W Westover.
White flag in the air off of turn number 2 already. Your leader, Kel Westover, the driver out of Altus, Oklahoma, looking for a little redemption after some trouble last weekend. Gonna get the win in Tom's heat race number 1. The driver of the 15W, Kel Westover, gonna take the checkered flag. Second spot from 3rd is gonna be Rory Jordan, and Zach McMillan in 3rd spot. And a 4th from the back will be the 88 of Sean Gamage. Colby Smith to his outside, the 1 star, it's Mark Johansson.
Second row 15, Denny Guyber, and outside him the 161 are Bradley Bracey.
Bo Day in the 4 machine, Donnie Ship in the 25B or D make up row number 3.
And the 15, Nicholas Littlejohn, and the 8, Skip O'Neill.
So look for O'Neill to make his way up through the pack. Here comes Little John on the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 2. Already got him 2 spots. Here comes Skip O'Neill on the inside. O'Neill going to challenge once again on the inside of turn number 3 and 4. Your race leader going to be the 81 of Colby Smith again from the inside of that front row. Big A up front seems to be the place to start tonight.
It looks like it'll be a little push by the 51 of Nicholas Littlejohn. He's going to be side by side with Bo Day for 5th into turns 3 and 4. But Bo Day, he's going to take advantage. He's going to be in the 5th spot.
That's a good run there for Littlejohn, coming up from 7th, challenging for that 5th position right now, working the bottom side of the racetrack. Denny Gabar right now in the 15 machine, hanging on to that 4th position. He's under fire from Bo Day in the 4 machine off of turn number 4.
Good battle for second, heating up between the 25D of Donnie Ship and the 1 star Mark Johansson. Ship up to second. He's going to take over that spot into turn number 3.
Some big time passing points again. Oh, and Donnie Ship going to go around. We're going to wad up 3-4 of them right there. Ship gets loose in turn number 3. Going to take a big hit from Mark Johansson. It looks like Bo Day and Denny Gabar getting tangled up there as well. I don't think the damage too severe to Gabar, but he did bring the car to a stop. And that is going to bring us our first yellow for the Touring Outlaw Modified Series. going to change continually. Like you said, Big A, it's going to keep going all night long. We're going to run a lot of laps here tonight. We're going to pull some moisture up out of this racetrack. It is going to be very exciting. 50 laps on tap for the modifieds tonight.
They better get their go-go juice.
That's exactly right. It's going to be a lot different scenario in that 50-lap main event than it is in an 8-lap heat race. We got a good battle shaping up for third down the back straightaway. Oh, and Skip O'Neill going to go for a wall.
Hard nose, head on into the wall. The 1-star Mark Johansson bringing out the red. That was a hard hit by the 1-star Mark Johansson and the 8 of Skip O'Neill. Let's hope both drivers are okay.
Yeah, Johansson going for a wild ride, like you said there, Big A, smacking head on into that exit ramp. We are trying to get everybody stopped on the racetrack. The ambulance on their way. Safety crew already there. Like I said, Skip O'Neill getting into the 1-star machine down the back straightaway. O'Neill going for a wild ride himself, but the safety crew looks like we're getting the thumbs up, folks. Drivers are okay. Both O'Neill and Johansson good to go over in turn number 3. Big Ed, that's always good news.
That is good news. I know them tractor tires soften the blow some, but that is still a hard compact.
Statement we've probably said all night, man. You got some pressure right now on you, Mr. Colby, in that front spot. You've got 2 heavy hitters breathing down your neck right now. As the green flag comes out, we get back underway here for heat race number 2. And a great restart for Colby Smith there, Big A. He gets out to a big lead down the front straightaway. Look at the battle for second off of turn number 2.
Smith out front, followed by the 25D of Donnie Ship and the 51 of Nicholas Littlejohn and the 15 of Denny
Gabar right now working in that 4th position off of turn number 2, getting that left front up in the air just a little bit. He got tangled up in that accident a little bit earlier on here in this heat race. Your field going to be coming to 2 to go next time around. 2 laps to go next. Actually, I think this time by should be the white flag in the air. No, it'll be 2 to go. It'll be 2 to go this time for Colby Smith and the 81 machine off of turn number 4. Big A, 2 laps remain here in heat race number 2.
Good battle for second, starting to heat up between the 25 of Donnie Ship and the 51 of Nicholas Littlejohn. Littlejohn looking low down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
Littlejohn has a wheel to the inside as we come into that 3rd corner. He'll make the move off of turn number 4, rolls the hub, but look, battling back on the outside. I believe that was Ship by a bumper at the start-finish line. Big A, we're door-to-door back into turn number 1. Here comes Littlejohn on the inside. The win going to go to Colby Smith. The battle for second is anybody's guess. It's going to be Donnie Ship. What a run from the 6th position to finish 2nd. And the same for Nicholas Littlejohn from 7th to 3rd for the 51 machine.
That was a good race for second between those 2 guys, Littlejohn and Ship.
Absolutely. What a good run for those 2 guys right there, ladies and gentlemen. Up from 6th and 7th to finish 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Donnie Ship and Nicholas Littlejohn putting on a show in heat race number 2. Heat race number 3 getting ready to take the green flag off of turn number 4. Chase Jupe on the outside. Got to be one to watch. Manuel Williams going to get the head start, though. He'll have the lead down the front stretch into turn number 1. Max Eddie Thomas rolling the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to pick up 1-2 spots, and we're going to get 2 of them turned around over in turn number 1.
Going to bring out the caution already for the 32 of Mitchell Clement and the 101 of Butch Reed.
$1 a piece. You can get 6 for $5 or 20 tickets for $10. Grab them while they're hot. Speaking of hot, we're going green off of turn number 4. And another great start off the inside for Manuel Williams on the 24 machine. He's already out front by 3 car lengths as we come into turn number 1. Chase Jupe had a wild ride that time on the outside of turns 1 and 2. He's doing battle with Max Eddie Thomas coming into turn 3. Big A up front, though. The battle for the lead is heating up.
The 3C of Charlie Smith on the low line. He's right there at the leader. Charlie Smith, the 3C in second, but right out front, the 24M, Emmanuel Williams. 2-car battle for the lead.
Outside and inside lanes both in play here at RPM Speedway. Manuel Williams carrying the momentum around the outside of this racetrack. He goes top shelf back in turn number 1. Off at turn 2 once again by about half a car down the back straightaway. Smith having to work the bottom and having to work it hard. Takes a little bit of a push coming into turn 3, and that's going to cost him some ground. Max Eddie Thomas up to 3rd spot. We said watch out for the 82 machine. He's your KR Cup champion here at RPM Speedway and your points champion at Devil Bowl. We're 3 wide off of turn number 2.
Here comes the 32 of Mitchell Clement. He's going to try to take over the 4th spot out of 4, but fighting back to 430 of Chase Jupe up to 4th. But back out front to 24M, Emmanuel Williams. 3rd and 2nd to 3C of Charlie Smith.
And I said Devil Bowl a minute ago. I meant Devil's Bowl. I know the name of that racetrack, but still your leader in heat race number 3 for the Tom's Modified Series is the 24M of Manuel Williams. Charlie Smith working hard there in 2nd spot. Slides up the racetrack. Here comes Max Eddie Thomas, the Quinlan, Texas racer in the 82 machine. As we come to 2 to go this time, something going away for Smith there, Big A. That car is pushing hard off of turn number 4.
And it's going to open up the door for the 82 of Max Eddie Thomas in 1 and 2. Thomas up to 2nd. He's going to see if he can reel in the leader with 2 laps to go as he's going into 3 and 4 with his sights set on the 24M, Emmanuel Williams.
The white flag in the air for your race leader and your pole setter, Manuel Williams. Out in front right now, Max Eddie Thomas started in the 5th spot. He's up to 2nd, knocking on the door. 1 more set of corners. Can the 82 machine get it done? Off the bottom of turn number 4, Thomas looks to the inside. It's not going to be enough. Williams going to get the win. Max Eddie Thomas will be 2nd. Charlie Smith finishes in 3rd. Chase Jupe rounds out the top 4.
You know, Troy Taylor, Dacus, and Jim Knight used to go at it back in the day over at Cowtown Speedway.
They're about to go at it right here tonight at RPM Speedway, brother. The green flag coming out off of turn number 4. Heat race number 4 heads off into turn number 1. Hennigan looking to the bottom. We know that car is fast here. He won $4,800 without the roof a few weeks ago. Here at RPM Speedway, Hennigan going to be looking to the inside of the car. Pushes coming into turn number 3, though, and that opens the door for Troy Taylor in the 56 machine.
But out front, the 2 of Billy Brierton, and 2nd, the 83B of Clint Clemens. But he's going to get challenged by the 56 of Troy Taylor into turn number 3, side by side.
Door to door through 3 and 4 for 2nd spot. Look to the top side of the racetrack. Chris Hennigan has found the outside of RPM Speedway and is looking for some speed on the top shelf of turns 1 and 2. Right now, next door to the real KR, Kevin Rutherford in the 9 machine.
He said, if everybody else is going to run the bottom, I'll run the outside. The 16 of Chris Hennigan. But back out front, the 2 of Billy Brierton. He's getting pressured by the 56 of Troy Taylor. Taylor, he's going to push and lose ground on the 2 of Brierton.
Look on the outside of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Hennigan has found his rhythm. Sometimes you just got to be where the other guys ain't. Off the top shelf of turn number 4, Hennigan up to 3rd. Going to set his sights on Troy Taylor, Big A, as we come into turn number 1.
For a moment, the 14T of Dacus, he said, if it's working for Hennigan, I'll try it. But he settled back in on the bottom. But back out front, the 16 of Hennigan, he's trying to make it work. But out front, the 2 of Brierton, he's getting pressured hard by the 56 of Troy Taylor. And a 2 down the back straightaway.
Billy Brierton can just about smell Troy Taylor's breath coming into turn number 3. Taylor hard on the brakes to avoid contact. Brierton going to be your leader with 2 laps to go. Hennigan trying to make it a 3-car battle for the top spot. Big A, he has closed it. It is now official. Hennigan in the hunt for the win here in heat race number 4.
I don't know if you can make Billy Brierton flinch because he's a wily veteran, but man, having the 2 cars behind him, that is something. The 2 of Billy Brierton with 1 lap to go this time.
Brierton rolling the hub into turn number 1. Going to have a good exit off of turn number 2. He's got about a half a car length between himself and Troy Taylor. Here comes the win again. Chris Hennigan once again on the top shelf. The checkered flag's going to be in the air this time by. It's going to be Billy Brierton in the 2B. Troy Taylor 2nd. Hennigan is 3rd. And 4th is the 83V of Clint Clemens. What a good run in heat race number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Billy Brierton getting the win. 2nd spot, the 56 of Troy Taylor. And rounding out the podium in the 16 machine, it's win again, Chris Hennigan. We're going to find out here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We are green flag racing for heat race number 5. I think Jack's got it figured out, Big A. Right off the get-go, shoots to the top spot off of turn number 1.
He got a little too loose and almost went around, and he saved it.
3 wide down the back straightaway. Dinsman on the outside picks up a 2-for-1 deal off of turn number 2. Clyde Dunn Jr. up front. Little Freaky takes over the top spot off of turn number 4. And look at Michael Walker working the bottom in turn number 1 in that 34 machine. Big A, that's a battle for second right now.
But look who's up to fourth. The 2C of Chris Huckabee. He started last. He's up to fourth. He's going to try to look for more into 3 and 4. He's up to third out of 4.
Huckabee nice and smooth through turns 1 and 2, door to door with Jack Sarton as we come into turn number 1. Huckabee rolls the hub, slides up, takes the line away from Sarton. Here comes Jack trying to cross him up back into turn number 3.
Chris Huckabee, he's got his car dialed in. He's straight to the front, but out front, the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr., your leader, as we got a car around at 3 and 4, the 64 of Casey Fowler. No, we stay green.
Fowler going to keep it rolling, gets it fired back up, heads back off onto the racetrack. It is still Lil Freaky Clyde Dunn Jr. out in front in that 88 XXX machine. He's laying the keys on the front desk, checking out a little bit here in heat race number 5. He's about to have his hands full, though, if Michael Walker can do anything about it. Walker closing the gap coming into turn number 3.
It's done. Walker, Huckabee. It looks like problems for the 47 of Jack Sarton. He's starting to be off the pace a little bit as he goes to turn 1.
Sarton working the bottom. Does look like some issues behind the wheel of the 47 machine. However, it's going to be 2 laps to go for your race leader.
Walker starting to close the gap on your leader, the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr. as they go down the back straightaway.
You really got to be on the brakes hard, keep the car nice and straight on entry to roll the bottom here at RPM Speedway. These corners are so tight. These drivers doing a fantastic job. The white flag comes out for Dunn. Clyde Dunn Jr. out in front. Michael Walker only about a car length behind off of turn number 2. And Chris Huckabee, we talk about passing points, man. He's passed 4 cars to get where he is. He's done a heck of a job right now running in third.
The caution came out, but they're going to finish the race under caution. So your winner is going to be the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr.
Going to go ahead and wave that checker flag, folks. 8 laps have been completed, so Dunn going to get the win. Walker will be second and third spot, the 2C of Chris Huckabee. Looks like we're going to get the green this time around. The field nice and tight down the back straightaway. Next time, not this time, going to be next time. Looks like it might be this time. Cole, we're underway, brother.
Yep. The 123 of Brett Jensen has the lead down the back straightaway.
Look, coming in the bottom of turn number 3. There's your boy, Chris Davis on the inside, Cole. That's a good battle for second spot.
3 wide back there.
They were 3 wide for a minute through turns 3 and 4.
Problems with the 55.
Charlie Wilson getting a little out of shape there, gets it back in line. Looks like we might have some serious problems there, Cole, as Wilson slow down the backstretch.
Yep. But still out front, the 123 of Brett Jensen, followed by the 98 of Chris Davis. Then the 87J of Tommy Davis Jr. Then the 1K of Kevin Ramey from the last place.
Hey, that's a good run-up from the back, too. You know, passing points are important here in this heat race for the factory stocks. It's not necessarily about where you finish, but it's about how many cars you pass. And Kevin looking to grab another one right here.
Yep.
Down the back stretch, Cole into turn number 3. Chris looking to the inside. Do you think he can get it? We're about halfway home. You think it's going to happen?
I don't know.
Jensen's doing a good job out front now, holding off Chris Davis. You see Jensen right through the middle, has a good run there, opens up about a car length down the back straightaway.
Yep, Davis looking to the bottom of Jensen.
I tell you what, Chris got his hands full as well with Tommy Davis Jr. breathing down his neck down the front stretch into turn number 1. You think Davis can get underneath Chris there?
I don't know, but they're brothers.
So they're racing hard, right?
Yep.
I tell you what, man, Jensen's getting that car, making it as wide as possible on the bottom of the racetrack with 2 to go, Cole. Looks like Chris and Tommy going to have to find another way around, and there goes Tommy to the outside.
Yep. With 2 laps to go, this is anyone's ball game.
Absolutely, brother. Anybody's game. We come into turn number 3. You can see Chris hard on the brakes, trying not to hit Jensen in the rear bumper. The white flag out, Cole, bring us home. 1 lap to go.
It's Jensen, Davis, Tommy Davis Jr., Ramey, McKinley, Chamberlain. As coming out of fourth, your winner in the 123, Brett Jensen. Second, the 98 of Chris Davis. And third, the 87J of Tommy Davis Jr. rounding out the top four, the 1K of Kevin Ramey.
Cole, you did a heck of a job. Y'all give Cole Gosdell a big round of applause. He did a fantastic job behind the microphone. Congratulations to the 123 of Brett Jensen getting the win in factory stock heat race number 1. Green flag out this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we head off into turn number 1. They're side by side for the top spot. Big A off of turn number 2. Look at the run on the top side for Fletcher.
Fletcher with a good run, but the 28 of Sprouse on the low line, and it's 2x2 behind him with the J23 of Joe Miller on the outside, the 222 of Jerry Cohart on the low line.
I tell you what, the cool thing about these factory stocks, man, is we get the 123A going around over in turn number 2. We're going to keep it clean and green, but these things you can lean on your neighbor a little bit. They can take it. They got sheet metal all the way down. They weigh about 3,000 pounds. They put on a heck of a race, man.
As your new leader, the 28 of Dustin Sprouse, as they go into turn 1 and 2 down the back straightaway.
Some of these drivers seem to be favoring the bottom side here. I tell you what, if somebody can figure out how to run the top and get it to where somebody else isn't in front of them and carry the momentum, these cars very much dependent on the momentum. If somebody can find the way around the outside, they're going to be able to pick up some spots.
That's true. Another driver out here that's had some bad luck this year, the 28 of Dustin Sprouse. And let's see if he can have a good run so far. He's having won this heat race.
Made his way around Fletcher there at the 7 machine. We're halfway home, 4 down and 4 to go. Sprouse still your race leader on the inside of turns 1 and 2. Fletcher going to try to look to the top side, and that opens the door for the J23 of Miller. Joe Miller looking to the inside coming into turn number 3. Wasn't quite enough to seal the deal. Miller going to still hang on to that third spot. Sprouse still your leader with Fletcher out front. We got the 123A around over in turn number 2.
Yeah, he's facing the wall in 1 and 2. Going to bring out the caution.
So 5 complete, Big A. We got 3 to go. Looks like the 123A going to take it to the pit area. And the green flag going to wave here on heat race number 2. Sprouse leads him back down to the bottom of turn number 1. Another wild push for Fletcher there. Miller just can't close the deal down the backstretch, though.
A good run for the 10 of 10W of Robert Vetter. Vetter up to 4th.
Looks like some issues there for the triple deuce of Jerry Coward. He gets all kinds of crossed up in 3 and 4. Oh, and your third place car going to go around. That's the J23 of Joe Miller. Joe going to stab the throttle, get it pointed back in the right direction, and we're going to stay green. Tough break for Joe, though. He's going to slip back to the back.
But that helps the 10W of Robert Vetter as we got one more time around for the 28 of Dustin Sprouse.
Yeah, Vetter going to move up to that third spot there behind the number 7 machine of Brian Fletcher. One more lap in the books. We're going to get the checkered flag this time around. Final lap off of turn number 4. Give it up for Dustin Sprouse in the 28 machine. Second spot going to be Robert Vetter with a run off the bottom of turn number 4. Last lap, last corner pass for the 10W machine. Vetter going to make it up to second spot. Congratulations to Dustin Sprouse getting the win in heat race number 2.
The 13D of Darryl McCullough, he is a rookie. This is his first year, first time in a race car.
That's absolutely awesome to see him outside the front row here. He's going to have the second spot coming into turn number 1. The green flag is out. Josh Landers leads the field off of turn number 2, and Big A, no surprise there.
No surprise for the 14X of Josh Landers starting up front. Let's see if he can do it. Watch the 4B of Kyle Blanton. See if he can make his way up to the front and give the 14X of Josh Landers a battle.
Blanton in that Team Richardson chassis, number 4B machine. Of course, Lonnie Richardson built some great race cars, man. They won $10,000 at Heart of Texas Speedway 2 years ago in the inaugural Sport Mod Nationals there at Heart of Texas Speedway with Rodney White behind the wheel. So always got to be on the lookout for those TRC race cars.
Yes, you do. Sitting in second, he's a good driver here at RPM Speedway, the 62, Dustin Schote.
Choke right now hanging on to that second spot. Landers, however, starting to walk away a little bit there with the top position as Choke slides up the racetrack. You can see the middle. Big A starting to dry out a little bit. We're starting to get a top side and a bottom side here at RPM Speedway. We're coming halfway home in heat race number 3.
By the time the podashes are over with, we're going to have a bottom, a middle, and a top groove just in time for them features to roll around.
Absolutely, my friend. It's going to be a fantastic 50-lap affair later on this evening for the Touring Outlaw Modified Series. $5,000 on the line for those drivers. 50 laps going to be the distance. As you said, they're going to have to bring their go-go juice. It's going to be a long race here, 50 laps. I know it's only a quarter-mile racetrack, but you know they're going to be exhausted after that one.
Yeah, going back to the Ronnie Sigmund Memorial, ask Baudet, Chris Hennigan, Clyde Dunn Jr., just ask them how it was. Baudet didn't have no sheet metal left on his car after he was done.
It's a little rough and tumble, man. This close quarters racing on these tight little bull ring racetracks, you cannot expect your race car to be pretty when it goes home.
No, you can't. And racing for $5,000 to win on one night, you're going to let it all hang out.
They're exactly right.
As we got one more time around for the 14X of Josh Landers.
Ain't no consolation prize here tonight, no qualifying night. It is all about letting it hang out. We talk about the other races right now. We got a barn burner going on for second spot off of turn number 2. Looks like Landers going to be your race winner, off of turn number 4, the checker flag in the air. But second spot, who's it going to be? Looks like Choke going to hang on to it. And Kyle Blanton going to finish third after starting fifth there in the 6-car heat race. Not bad for the driver of the 4B machine.
Caution lights out, so we're going to go green right here.
Green flag out for Kent Parker Services. Limited modified B main number 1. And headed off into turn number 1, it's Chad Williams on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes the 135 of Bobby Parker off the bottom of turn number 2. Parker looking to make up 2 spots.
Shot out of the cannon was the K9 of Kel Westover. He's going to work that bottom. Oh, he gets a little contact, but he's going to be up to third in one lap.
Westover going to be good to go. There was a little bit of contact there on the right rear from the, believe it was the 11 machine of Eric Luttrell. Luttrell is going backwards, quick, fast, and in a hurry there, Big A. Problems for the 11 machine tonight.
Yeah, there's issues with that 11 car. He's going to be going around again in turn number 4. He's going to go in the infield, but he's going to keep it going. I don't know what's wrong with that car, but it's not looking good. But back out front, the 135 of Bobby Parker.
Bobby Parker, your race leader off of turn number 4. Westover going to go top shelf to the outside. Here comes your pole sitter, Bad Chad Williams in the 7C machine. Down to the bottom of turn number 1. Westover, one of the few guys trying the top side, Big A. It's going to pay off the outside of turn 2.
He made it work, and he's going to open up some eyes for the guys to say, it's going to work up there on that top side, and watch more drivers start working up there.
There will definitely be some more drivers make their way to the top side of this racetrack as the night goes on. One doing it right now is the 26 of Dean Abbey. And just to say that, he looks to the bottom now of turns 1 and 2, trying to get his nose in there, pulling that Jack Hottenshield move. If the radiator cap will fit, the rest of the car's got to go.
Yeah, I think his patience is about to start wearing thin on the guys back there in the back. Every time he starts getting a nose through, it closes off, and he's fixing to start making his way through the front.
He's got to, Big A. You got to go, and you got to go now. Only the top 6 going to transfer out of this race, and Dean started in the 12th position. He's got to pass at least 6 cars to make it into the show tonight.
As small as this track is, these laps go by fast. He knows he has to do it.
He is in right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the 6th position right now, going to take over 5th from Chad Williams off of turn number 2. The battle to watch is the one off of turn number 4. Cale Westover has worked his way up to within a couple of car lengths of your race leader, Bobby Parker. Parker going to go low in turns 1 and 2. Westover to the top side of this racetrack. Look at the run off of turn number 2 for that K9 machine.
He's going to drop down to the bottom and see if he can make, around goes to 135 of Parker. He's going to get by him.
Westover gets by, but so does Chase Vineyard. Vineyard, your new race leader, Bobby Parker, well out of a transfer spot. A rough break for the driver of the 135 machine. Vineyard, now your new race leader. We got one over in turn number 2 now.
He's going to keep it going, but look who's up to 4th, the 26, Dean Abbey. He's right there with the K9 of Kel Westover.
Man, he found it. That 26 machine in Roanoke, Texas, has had some success this season. Got a couple of wins up at Monarch Motor Speedway in Wichita Falls on Friday nights as well. Right now, doing battle with the K9 of Kel Westover. He'll take over 3rd spot off of turn number 4.
We got 2 laps to go this time by, but out front the 6, Chase Vineyard, followed by the 68 of Brandon Watson, and then the 26 26 of Dean Abbey and the K9 of Kel Westover. That's your top four.
I tell you what, folks, those top three cars started well back in the field. You said it a while ago. Watch the third, fourth, and fifth rows. That's where those guys started. Vineyard started 8th. Watson started 9th. And Dean Abbey started 12th in this race.
This track starts coming in. Them drivers start going to the front.
They're feeling it right now, brother. The checkered flag in the air. The win in B-Main number 1 for Kent Parker Services. USRA Limited Modifieds going to go to the 6th machine from the 8th position. It's Mr. Chase Vineyard. Second spot going to be the 68 of Brandon Watson from 9th spot. Third from 12th is the 26 of Dean Abbey. Fourth was the K9 of Kel Westover. I believe fifth was the 7 of... that was your pole sitter, Chad Williams, and 6 was the 7T of Trevor Rainey. So those are your top 6 transfers. I know I'm from Arkansas, but I can sort of count. But I don't know who's gone. As the green flag's out, we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Tyler Bragg going to be your early race leader. Look at Powers trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Jeff Shepard off of 2. Shepard right now hanging onto that 3rd spot. Look at the battle for 4th. We're 3 wide into turn 3.
That's probably another one you don't see in a B-Main very often, the 17 of Jeff Shepard.
Very true, my friend, very true. We are door to door down the front stretch for 4th spot. Look at the bottom. It's Tommy Davis Jr. going to get around Tyler Honeywell. 3 wide off of turn number 2. Nate Gaines, the meat in that sandwich, going to lose 2 spots off the 2nd corner.
Tyler Honeywell better stay up on the wheel or he may lose the transfer spots because he's got some hitters behind him.
Yeah, Honeywell definitely got some work to do to hang on to that 5th spot. He's in a transfer position right now. 2 more cars get by him. He's on the outside looking in. Right now, your 6th and final transfer position belongs to Chase Hatton in the 210.
Back out front to 24T at Tyler Bragg. Second to 29J, Jonathan Powers. In third, 17, Jeff Shepard. And fourth, the 25C, Tommy Davis Jr.
Tyler Honeywell right now in 5th. Hatton rounds out the 6th and final transfer spot. The battle for 7th is hot and heavy between Nate Gaines on the bottom and the 6th. Oh!
Powers off the pace out of 2.
Wow. Tough break for your 2nd place car. Jonathan Powers going to take it off the racetrack. Big A, that's going to put Nate Gaines in a transfer spot.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Powers as he was up there running good, but it gives guys like Gaines a break, you know, that's out there trying all he can to get in a transfer spot. Just needs a break, but it comes to a cost of another competitor, but that's just how the game goes.
Hey, man, so like they say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and right now it's paying off for Nate Gaines on the bottom. I tell you what, though, he can't just rest on his laurels because Wendell Bolden right now on the outside looking in, but Bolden's hungry in that 67 machine.
He is. He's a wheel man, but I don't think it's been a while since he's drove a limited modified, especially that car there. So he's trying to get used to that car, especially here at RPM Speedway. So we'll see if the next few laps, if he can get that car going going forward.
He's found the outside over in turns 1 and 2 on the south end. Up north, though, he's down on the bottom. Going to get underneath Gaines down the front straightaway. Big A into turn number 1.
I think he found a good entrance into 3 and 4. Let's see if he can try that again. He's doing it again in 1 and 2. Let's see if he can do it again in 3 and 4.
He's watching for a bobble from Gaines. Nate Gaines having issues on entry. Bolden that time makes the same mistake, though. So Gaines again getting lucky there, hanging on to that 6th and final transfer spot.
Really, the top 4, top 5 cars are starting to spread out. Tyler Bragg's not getting any pressure over the 2nd place car, the 17 of Jeff Shepard, as we got 2 laps to go this time by.
2 laps to go for Tyler Bragg in the 24T, making a lap and a half down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Shepard in the 2nd spot, Williams up to 3rd. Like you said, not really any pressure from those guys. Right now, I can guarantee you that Jeff Shepard in his head, he knows he's locked into a transfer spot. He knows he's not going to catch up to Tyler Bragg right now. It's not worth pushing the race car past what it's going to give him. So he's going to hang on for this final set of corners. He's got that transfer. He's just going to keep it and lock into the main event. Tyler Bragg going to be your winner. Shepard will be 2nd. Williams will be 3rd. Looks like Tyler Honeywell going to make it in the show. He's going to be 4th. And 5th will be Nate Gaines by a wheel. 6th will be Chase Hatton. Those are your top 6 transfers.
That was a good battle for 5th and 6th between the 7X of Gaines and the 210 of Hatton. The front row, the 18B of Cody Smith, and outside him, the 121 of Matt Goswick.
Green flag is out. We are underway. Goswick was a big winner in his heat race a little earlier on this evening. He's going to be looking to the outside. Look at Thomas Blackwell on the top of the racetrack, Big A, trying to get around that 65 machine.
You know, he's back there in the back, but the 69X of Kane Buckmeyer, the rookie, he's in his first ever pole dash. I don't know what would be going through his head, but a bunch of excitement. I mean, this is good for him.
Absolutely, man. Just making this deal right here has got to be an accomplishment for Buckmeyer. We got a good race going on for fifth. Bo Day coming up on the inside. You got Thomas Blackwell and James McCreary right there with him.
But the 18B, Cody Smith, your leader, but look at that 65 of Wyatt. Wyatt's like, no, I want some of that money. I'm headed to the front.
$250. It's a winner-take-all kind of deal right here, man. $250 to the winner. Everybody else just gets to start the feature. So, yeah, they want it bad. And Wyatt right now in that second spot trying to get around Smith up front.
Because it's more than just that $250 that they're racing for. They're racing for that start money. They're racing for that big check at the end of the night.
Yes, sir. They're all focused. All these guys are locked into the race. They're definitely focused on the big check at the end of the night. 4 down and 4 to go here in the pole dash for the Ken Parker Services USRA Limited Modifieds. Bo Day getting around the 121 machine, making his way to the front of the pack. Bo up to third.
And this is going to give a lot of tests better than some of the other guys, so what they can go back to into the pit area and make the adjustments so what they can come back out and do for the A main.
Absolutely. Bo Day knows that he's got a good car on the bottom. He's working the hub through turns 1 and 2. Got a good run going there off of turn 2. It's still Smith out front, though. Smith's been the leader since the drop of the green flag, man, and we're coming to 2 to go this time by.
It's Smith, White, Day, Goswick, McCreary, your top 5.
Bo Day looking to the inside of Brandon Wyatt in that 65 machine. Goswick hanging on to that 4th spot. The battle for 5th is a rager. Coming into turn 3 is the white flag going to be in the air this time by Blackwell and McCreary side by side off of turn number 4. That's for 5th spot. That's going to be where they start in the feature. So, yeah, they're racing for starting position right now, and they're racing hard.
Yeah, yes, they do. But like I said, they want the $250, but by the time the feature comes, it don't matter where you start at.
It's all about the big one. The checkered flag going away for Mr. Smith on that 18 machine. Brandon Wyatt going to be second. Bo Day will be third. I believe it was McCreary across the line in the 4th spot ahead of Mr. Goswick. So that's going to be the way they start. The A main, ladies and gentlemen, coming up a little later on.
The 18B, Cody Smith in Victory, Honeycutt, Sandy Gravel, Victory Lane.
Fixing to get action started up front. The 21, Gil Faber. The 29, Zach Crawford. The 28, Matt Deaver. The 61, Kelly Welburn. The 4X, Josh Landers. And the 85, Tim Simmons. We're on for a race. Deaver trying to go on the very bottom. Gil on the top. Right in front of him. Here on the top, the 29, the Big Bird, side by side, the 21 and the 29, just like they started, coming around for lap number 1. Gonna be the 29 with a little bit of a lead over that 21, but the 61 of the Iceman, Kelly Welburn, finding something on the outside, trying to get around that 21 car. Looks like he's pulled up aside, but that 29, Big Bird, Zach Crawford, getting the job done in these early laps. The 21 of Gil Faber holding down the 2nd spot. The 61 of Kelly Welburn pressuring him for that spot. 5th is the 85 Mr. Excitement, Tim Simmons, and the 4X, Josh Landers, holding down the 5th spot. But pulling away is that 29, 3-time feature race winner this year in the Southern Topless Economy Modifieds, as they're coming around for 2 laps to go. The 21, Gil Faber, going to get in a little bit of pressure for that 2nd spot by the 85, Tim Simmons on the bottom, and the 61, Kelly Welburn on top. They just made a sandwich out of them as they go around. Now we've got a new 2nd place car. The 61, Kelly Welburn, the 85, Tim Simmons. Faber in the 4th spot, but here comes the 4X, Josh Landers on the outside. And your winner, the 29, Zach Crawford. The 61, Kelly Welburn. The 85, Mr. Excitement, Tim Simmons. The 21, Gil Faber, and the 4X of Mr. Josh Landers.
You really got to make your moves early and one to be doing that. I guarantee you got two of them on the inside there. The 82 of Max Eddie Thomas, the 15 of Kel Westover. They're going to be looking to move up real quick. Third and fifth was where they're going to start. They want that top spot. They want that 500 and the pole for the feature. And the green flag waves. We head off into turn number one and look already on the bottom. Max Eddie Thomas up to that second spot.
He's not going to let the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr. get it too far ahead of him. He's going to stay with him right there in the 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. But leading lap one, the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr.
The 82 of Max Eddie Thomas in second spot. Look at Walker now, testing the outside, trying to find some more speed. Sometimes, like I said earlier, you got to go where the other cars aren't. And Walker looking to the top shelf of turn number 3 to pick up that second spot from Thomas off the bottom. Thomas going to hang on to it.
Walker in the 34, he has his car working. It did it in the heat race. It's doing it again in this Poe Dash. But he's going to lose a little ground on the 82 of Max Eddie Thomas.
Walker once again in the top side of turn number 3, looking to pick up that second spot, but the Quinlan, Texas racer, your champion at Devil's Bowl Speedway, and also the KR Cup winner here at RPM Speedway, Max Eddie Thomas in the 82 right now, trying to run down Clyde Dunn Jr.
This is going to be a good knowledge what they can do come feature time. With a guy in front of him like Max Eddie Thomas has the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr. ahead of him. That's good stout competition. He's going to be like, this is what I can do now and come feature time.
Absolutely. This race serves a lot of purposes. Yes, it's going to pay some money. Yes, it determines your starting spot, but it also lets you know what adjustments you're going to have to make to that car for 50 laps. This is just like less than a quarter of the distance of the feature we're going to be running a little bit later on. So these drivers are getting a little bit of knowledge. They're getting a little more laps than everybody else that's going to be in this feature. We're going to be coming a 2 to go this time around. Big A, what you going to think about it?
I think it's going to be the 88 of Clyde Dunn Jr., 88 XXX Clyde Dunn Jr. He's opened up the gap over second between the 82 and Max Eddie Thomas. But, in 2 laps, that's a lot of racing still.
Absolutely. We got a lap and a half to go here. Thomas trying to work something out there in second spot. That MB Custom race car driven by Clyde Dunn Jr. Going to take the white flag this time off of turn number 4. The 88 XXX out in front. Thomas is second. Walker third. Westover up to fourth. Cale Westover working the high side of the racetrack, trying to close the gap on your third spot car. Michael Walker, Westover going to stick to the high side in 3 and 4. The checkered flag going to be in the air, and Clyde Dunn Jr. going to get $500 courtesy of Sestair Plumbing. He's also going to start on the pole, Big A, for your 50-lap main event coming up later on.
And starting with him on the front row, the 82 of Max Eddie Thomas. And look at that second row. You got the 34 Michael Walker and the 15W of Kel Westover. That's chump change compared to that $5,000 that's coming up later on tonight.
Literally 10 times the prize money going to be coming up. 50 laps going to be the distance for the Tom's Modifieds here this evening. There's Clyde out of the race car. Y'all make some noise. Little freaky Clyde Dunn Jr. picking up $500 for his efforts here in the pole dash for the Bryan Mize Memorial.
8 laps to determine the top 8 starting spots in tonight's A main. We're going green right here. Out front, the 123 of Brett Jensen, followed by the 10W of Robert Vetter. Chris Davis in the 98 up to 4th. The 14X of Landers in 5th. Good battle up front. The 10W of Vetter on the low line. The 123 of Jensen on the outside. Vetter, your new leader out of 4. But fighting back on the outside, the 123 of Brett Jensen. Chris Davis looking on the outside of the 28 of Dustin Sprouse. Side by side in 1 and 2. The top 4 cars are side by side down the back straightaway. Your leader in the 1 and 2, the 10W of Robert Vetter, followed by the 123 of Brett Jensen. Then the 28 of Dustin Sprouse, and the 98 of Chris Davis. Davis on the outside. 2 to go this time by. 2 laps to go. Up to third, the 98 of Chris Davis. One more time around for the 10W, Robert Vetter. Taking the win, the 10W, Robert Vetter. Second, the 123, Brett Jensen. Third, 98, Chris Davis. Fourth, 28, Dustin Sprouse. Fifth, the 14X, Josh Landers. 6, 4B, Kyle Blanton. Then 62, Dustin Schote. And running out the field, the 1K, Kevin Ramey. So your front row would be the 10W of Robert Vetter and the 123 of Brett Jensen. And getting out of the car, your winner of the 10W of Robert Vetter.
So Chris Davis picking up that third spot, going to be on the inside of row number 2 for your feature coming up a little later on. Congrats to Mr. Vetter, though. He's going to be starting with the best seat in the house on the inside of that front row.
And his pocketbook's $250 richer.
Well, that's it. That's even better.
As the caution lights out, watch for the 2C of Chris Huckabee on the front row outside of Troy Taylor as the green flag waves this time.
Green flag is out. We're underway. Back into turn number 1. 12 laps the distance. Top 6 cars going to make their way into the main event this evening. Right now, Troy Taylor, your leader down the back straightaway into turn number 1. Chris Huckabee in that second spot. Third spot is anybody's guess. Big A off of turn number 4.
It's going to be the 88 of Sean Gamage, but on the outside of him, the 3C of Charlie Smith, but in fifth, the 430 of Chase Jupe.
6th spot right now in the final transfer, the 47 of Jack Sarton, Tristan Dykes. Still not in a transfer spot. Dykes to the bottom of turn number 3. Big A might be his off the 4.
And it's going to be his right now at the line, but it's going to be hard to get around the 47 of Sarton, and he's going to do it as they're going to 1 and 2.
Sarton looks to the outside down the back straightaway. We know the 47 car is fast here at RPM Speedway. Right now got his work cut out for him in the B main. Jack out of a transfer spot at this point.
Back up front, the 56 of Troy Taylor. Second, the 2C of Chris Huckabee. Huckabee getting pressure on the outside as the 3C of Charlie Smith.
Smith has found something on the top side of this racetrack. He's going to pick up second spot. Huckabee going to lose 2 spots off of turn number 4 is Chase Jupe. Now going to take over that third spot.
Charlie Smith and Troy Taylor are best friends, and he's not going to try to let Troy Taylor outdo him. He's going to try to chase down that 56 car.
Absolutely not. You're exactly right. Charlie Smith going to race as hard as he's probably ever raced before. Right now, though, he's doing battle with Chase Jupe for second spot. Jupe on the inside in the 430 machine. Going to take a look to that second spot down the back straightaway. Will it be Jupe? Yes, it will. Chase Jupe by a nose in the second spot coming into 3.
I think the benefits of him driving all that IMCA over the years, he's learned to drive on that dry slick stuff, less motor, less harder competition, and he's starting to show what he can do right now.
Got to make it work on the bottom. It looks like that's the dominant line here, at least in this race for this B main, as Troy Taylor working the hub, Jupe doing the same thing. We got a good battle for third now with Charlie Smith and Chris Huckabee in the 3C and the 2 car.
Troy, the 14T of Dykes on the outside of the 88 of Gamage.
Side by side with Tristan Dykes and Gamage on the bottom of the racetrack. Dykes going to make the move on the outside. He'll take over spot number 5.
He's going to try to make his run to the front. He wants a good starting spot for the feature. With the guys starting up front, he knows he's got to get a good starting spot.
Another guy trying to race his way into this deal, Big A. The battle for the sixth and final transfer is hot off of turn number 4. Give it to Danny Veal now.
He had problems in his heat race. He broke up in the heat and had to pull off. He's racing his way in, he's going to try to race his way in with his B main.
Sean Gamage going the wrong way down the back straightaway right now. He is out of a transfer spot. The driver raced his way from the back of his heat race. Didn't quite grab enough passing points to lock into the top 8. Right now, Big A, he is not in the show. Dykes now looking to the inside of Smith off of turn number 2.
He's going to try to take over the 4th spot, but he's going to peek back out on the outside. Dykes has found something on that outside that his car likes. He's going to do it. He's going to settle back in for 5th.
I think the best working car on the racetrack right now is that 14T. Tristan Dykes is comfortable pretty much anywhere he has to be. It may not be where he wants to be, but he knows he's got to be where someone else isn't. The car's got to be comfortable, and it looks like it is. The checker flag going to wave for Troy Taylor in the 56. Chase Jupe will be second. Third was Chris Huckabee, I believe. Fourth was Charlie Smith, Tristan Dykes, and the 5X of Danny Veal going to be your 6th and final transfer spot. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Troy Taylor getting the win in that 56 machine. Chase Jupe was second in the 430. Third was the 2 car of Chris Huckabee. Fourth, the 3C of Charlie Smith. Then it was Tristan Dykes in 5th, and Danny Veal snagging that 6th and final transfer spot in the 5X machine. Going to be Little John on the inside, Nicholas Little John to be exact in the 51, and Rory Jordan in the 7X.
Second row of the 14Z, Zach McMillan in the 16, Chris Hennigan.
Clint Clemens in the 83V, Denny Gabar in the 15.
Then the 24, Manuel Williams in the 161, or Bradley Bracey.
Lance Plant, Kenneth Dinsman, row number 5.
Row 6 to 9, Kevin Rutherford in the 73, Jim Knight.
Casey Fowler, Bo Day, and Chase Hutton round out the field, and we've got them wadded up on the backstretch already, Big A.
Yeah, it looks like a caution for the 161 for the Brady Bracey.
Big A, we getting ready to go green here with modified B main number 2 off of turn number 4. The green flag is out. Nicholas Littlejohn going to lead him into turn number 1.
I'm going to keep my eye on the 16, Chris Hennigan, and see how quick it makes him go get to the front. And he's trying to work that high side, and he's already there on the outside of Hennigan.
Oh,
he's got that thing wide open, high, wide, and handsome.
Oh, McMillan going to go around in turn number 3. Hennigan not going to be happy about that because that car was rolling on the outside, Big A.
No.
From this perspective, it looks like there's not enough room to do that back there. There obviously is, or Chris is just braver than we all think he is because, man, he never even flinched making that move.
I hate to see that. The 9 of Kevin Rutherford just pulled off the track, taking it to the pit. Where the heck did that 16 come from? And I bet you they're glad he's starting behind them once again. But I bet you it's not going to take long for him to get back up there once again.
They got to be, man. That was absolutely insane to see Chris on the outside like that. Of course, like we said before tonight, we know he's fast here. He got $4,800 at the Ronnie Sigmund Memorial earlier this year. And look at him again, Big A, right up to the outside.
He's almost up the wall, but this time, man, we got a car around in turn 1 facing the opposite direction. It's going to be the 161 of Bradley Bracey once again. Bringing out the caution. And caution once again for the 161 of Bradley Bracey. First restart, and with the 16, they got on the gas and went because they went off and left Hennigan on that last restart.
Yeah, Jordan definitely changed his entry there into 1, and I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the way that Chris Hennigan made it work on take number 1. We're going to try it for a third time here with B-Main number 2. For the Touring Outlaw, or the Touring Outlaw Modified Series, and look at Jordan up on the top shelf, and yeah, Hennigan going to have to work a little harder this time around, Big A.
But Hennigan, he changed his exit off the 2. He's in the middle. He's the meat in the sandwich.
You don't ever want to be the meat in a race car sandwich, man. That is the sketchiest place to be. Is Bo Day going to go around in turn number 1? We're going to wad 3 of them up there on the bottom. Day looked like it had a wheel up on the 83V of Clemens there. And we're going to have to get another yellow.
Yeah, we got them stacked up in turn 1. It's going to be the 11 of Lance Plant, the 4 of Bo Day, and the 211 One lap complete. Lineup's good. Out front, the 51 of Nicholas Littlejohn leading the field. Caution lights out.
We're going to try it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Littlejohn out in front, going to lead him to the green flag. And into turn number 1 we go. Rory Jordan working the high side of this racetrack. We're going to wad him up again over in turn number 2. Everybody going to keep it rolling this time. I think Plemons had some issues, though, there, Big A, that 83V machine on the bottom.
He did, but watching on that outside is the 16 of Chris Hennigan. He's going to run that high top shelf into 1 and 2.
The line's open in front of him, ladies and gentlemen, on the outside. Winnigan, Chris Hennigan already picked up $4,800 for his efforts in the Ronnie Sigmund Memorial here earlier this year. He knows his way to victory lane here at RPM Speedway, and he's trying to race to the front here in B-Main number 2 for the Tom's Modified Series.
And we got a car around in 3 and 4, the 83V of Clint Plemons, but he's going to keep it going. We stay green. Chris Hennigan up front, side by side, and we got a car around in 1 and 2. The 7X, it looks like the Roy Jordan.
That is Rory Jordan. Jordan started outside the front row and is right now on the outside looking in on a transfer spot. Looks like we're going to go for a single file restart here, Big A, with Chris Hennigan in second spot, Nicholas Littlejohn out in front. The green flag waves, and we're back underway with, I believe, 3 laps down.
But look who's up to 4th. The 4 of Baudet. He went from the back to the front. He's going to look for more into 3.
Hey, we said it earlier. He's going to do what he's got to get into this thing right now. He's locked into a transfer spot. He's racing for starting position right now.
And he's got his sights set on the top 2 cars into turn 1. Baudet on the bottom side.
Littlejohn had a little bit of a bobble that time through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Chris Hennigan on the top shelf into turn number 3. Hennigan going to look to the outside of turns 3 and 4. They're going to be side by side down the front stretch. Hennigan, your leader at the stripe.
Baudet said, if it works for Hennigan, it's going to work for me because he jumps on the outside too.
We talked earlier. Kevin Sestair even said, I want a top side, I want a bottom side. I think we've got it right now. Hennigan going to come back down to the bottom to defend that top position off of turn number 4. Here comes Baudet now on the inside of Littlejohn coming into turn number 1. There's some contact there. And it looks like maybe some issues for Day. I think the right front might be done there, Big A. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think the contact with the 51, it broke the right front, and it's going to end the night for the 4 of Baudet. And that's bad luck right there because he started in the back and he was up to 3rd, fixing to take over 2nd. And that old saying, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's 2 of the best right there.
100%. And you're exactly right. You hit the nail on the head, Big A. You're only as good as your competition. Absolutely. And Baudet coming back out on the speedway. Not a lap down, Big A, so he's still got a shot to race into this deal.
He's hammered down on that outside. He's going to try to see if he can get going, get a transfer spot in the closing laps.
Hey, you think he was aggressive earlier. You watch him right now. He's got, looks like 2 more spots to pick up to race into this thing. He's got a shot. We can't count him out.
And you can hear when he's coming down the front straightaway, that motor is wound up. He's giving it all he has.
The car up on the bars coming into turn number 3. Baudet is going to make it 4 wide off of turn number 4. And Big A, he's in the show.
Yeah, that just shows the racer mentality that's in Baudet. He has no quit. He's going to be like, I'm going after that $5,000 tonight.
He wants to be in this thing as bad as anybody, and it is obvious. Baudet had to leave the racetrack, fix a flat, fix his car, get it back out here. They thrashed to get it done. He's in the 5th spot right now, got a spot in the show. Chris Hennigan, still your race leader. The battle for 2nd, heating up coming into turn number 3 with McMillan right on the heels of Littlejohn off of turn number 4.
And we got 2 laps to go this time, and Hennigan out front. Baudet has a sight set on the top 4 cars. He's going to look for more at the final 2 laps.
And as aggressive as Bo's being right now, he knows there's still some meat up on the top side. He's figured that out in the last 5 or 6 laps.
He's going to learn a lot going into the feature time. Now he's ducking down low because he's right there. He's going to try to take over the 4th spot with this 1 lap to go.
The car is comfortable, and this kind of little bit of aggression here, that kind of frustration really brings out the drive in a race car driver. As the win going to go to Chris Hennigan in that 16. 2nd spot will be Littlejohn. 3rd will be McMillan. 4th will be the 11 machine of Lance Plant, and Baudet going to race his way into the main event tonight with a 5th place finish. on the outside of row number 8. We're getting ready to take the green flag off of turn number 4, Big A. Smith and Wyatt going to bring us to the green. The green flag is out, and we're underway. Look at Bo Day working the bottom into turn number 1. Already we got one hard into the wall. That looks like Chase Vineyard. Yeah, that looks like the 6 machine of Chase Vineyard hard in the outside turn 1 wall.
Yeah, that was a very hard hit for the 6 of Chase Vineyard. That's going to bring out the red flag.
Yep. Red flag to the Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as we get word on Chase Vineyard, I will pass it along to you.
Driver is okay.
I'm not sure what started that. Chase started about middle of the pack, and all I see coming up to turn number 1 is that car facing the wrong direction with the driver's side right up against the wall like that. That's a scary hit right there. Pretty good money here for the USRA, Kent Lewis Services USRA Limited Modifieds. We're going to get the green this time, Big A. Take number 2 on the Limited Modified main event here at the 5th Annual Bryan Mize Memorial, and Cody Smith going to be your leader off of turn number 2. Look at him, nearly 3 wide, down the back chute into 3. James McCreary jumping up into that 3rd spot as we come into turn number 3.
Yeah, he knows he's got to get a good start, and he did just that. He's not going to let the 18 get out of his sights. Let the 65 of Braden White, he's going to hold his line, and he's had a heck of a run tonight.
Yeah, Wyatt has been on the charge all night long. The best battle on the racetrack right now. The one for 2nd spot, McCreary, trying to find his way up around the 65 of Mr. Wyatt. Here comes Bo Day, though, Big A, on the bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2.
And trying to take over the 5th spot, the 15B of Thomas Blackwell.
Blackwell started in the 6th position. He's working with his 3rd row starting mate there, Matt Goswick, in the 121 machine. But here comes Bragg and Dean Abbey racing out of a B main tonight.
Where did Abbey come from?
Dude, Dean Abbey started, let's see here, in the 13th position, Big A.
And man, he's moving forward, and he's moving forward quick.
If Abbey can rally and win this thing, it'd be the 2nd Bryan Mize Memorial in a row for the driver of the 26th machine.
Yeah, and he's one that can do it. And we got 2 cars together. They made contact on the front straightaway. Looks like the rookie, the 69X of Kane Buckmeyer, off the pace. He's going to he's going to keep it going, and he's going to take it to the infield. We're going to stay green.
Gonna stay green. Looks like one more lap in the books. Your leader still the 18 of Cody Smith off of turn number 4. James McCreary now up to 2nd spot. Wyatt in the 3rd position. Bo Day 4th, and the top 5 is rounded out with your 13th starter, Dean Abbey, in the 26th machine.
He is a true wheel man, and he has his sight set on that $1,000 right now.
Anybody named Abbey that I have had the chance to meet in this state has been an absolute shoe behind the wheel of a race car. Looks like Thomas Blackwell taking the scenic route through the infield there. He's going to lose several spots there, Big A.
I mean, I've had the pleasure, just like you had, to watch Dean Abbey race over at KSP, and I didn't think anybody can get better. Then he comes to find out he has 2 brothers, Jeffrey and Weston, that are better than he is, and that's hard to say with the talent level of Dean.
It's insane. And Big A, I'm watching the battle now for 7th spot on the racetrack, because the driver in 8th right now is Cale Westover in the K9 machine, and Cale started in the 15th spot.
And he looks like he's running that high side. He's like, everybody else is running that bottom. I'm going to run that high side, and I'm going to see if I can start picking off some drivers and head my way up to the front.
Westover, top shelf off of turn number 2 right now, down the back straightaway, trying to get around Thomas Blackwell. That is for 7th spot on the racetrack in Westover. Not a good set of corners that time. Looks like some speed lost on the K9 machine. We hop back up front, down the back stretch. Your leader is still the 18 of Cody Smith. Now Smith going to be coming into some lap traffic here pretty quick, Big A. That's another thing we haven't talked about so far tonight. On a track this size, if we go 10, 12 laps, you're going to get some lap traffic.
Yeah, we're going to get lap traffic, and everybody's running the bottom. And I don't know, I mean, when do you take that gamble to jump on the outside if you're up there running the second, third, fourth place to try to get around the leader when they come up into the lap traffic to get around him?
If I'm James McCreary, which I'm not, but if I was, you see him trying to look to the inside of Smith there. I'm looking a car ahead if I can manage it. I'm looking for where the 7 machine is going to be, and I'm going to try to go where he isn't because the leader is going to have to do the same thing. I'm thinking if I'm, now that just solves the problem right there. The 7X machine pulls into the infield. But still, if I'm James McCreary, because we saw him pass Brandon Wyatt on the outside, I know he can get that done. So if I'm McCreary, I'm thinking maybe give him a couple more laps, and I'm going to look to the top.
I know a guy in the top 3 that won't care. He's here to win a race. That's the 4 of Bo Day. If there's a leader, he's going to get inside lap traffic. He's going to jump around the outside. He's going to win it or lose it. That's just Bo Day's style.
Checkers or records, man, all the way. You got it right there. Bo Day going to be looking to the bottom side of the racetrack off of turn number 4 right now in that 3rd position, trying to get around James McCreary. We got 2 around in turn number 2. Looks like the 56.
Stephen Ashcraft.
Yes.
It looks like maybe the 210.
I believe you're right, brother. I believe that is the 210 machine of Chase Hatton. Yes, it is. Side of that first row, I think that Smith is going to be down on the bottom, so I'm thinking Bo Day's going to take his chances on the outside.
Yeah, I think he's more worried about holding that bottom line, but he's moving up a little bit to hold that. Now he's going to dive down to the bottom. We go back green right here.
And Smith going to lead the field into turn number 1, but Bo Day going to try to get around James McCreary. That's the tightest battle on the racetrack right now. They're side by side for a second down the backstretch.
And 4th to 26, Dean Abbey. Wyatt, he's going to drop back to 5th.
Again, Abbey started in the 13th position and has worked his way up to 4th.
Bragg, he's going to be in the 5th spot. Wyatt, he keeps dropping positions since this restart.
Coming off of turn number 4, your race leader still Smith. The battle for second is now raging with Day on the inside now. Bo Day's gotten down to the bottom of turn number 2. And there was some contact there for sure between he and McCreary. McCreary now on the outside, not necessarily where you want to be. Bo Day got the preferred line off the bottom of turn number 4. He's going to take second spot.
But knocking on their back doors is the 26 of Dean Abbey. But all this is doing is letting the 18B of Cody Smith extend his lead over second place as they go down to turn number 3.
Should be coming to 2 to go this time around. 2 laps remain for Cody Smith. He was your pole setter and your leader from the drop of the green flag. Can Smith hang on to it and get a win here in the Bryan Mize Memorial?
It's Smith, Day, McCreary, Abbey, and Bragg, your top 5 as we're coming to 1 lap to go this time by. Out of 4, taking the win, the 18B of Cody Smith. Second to 4 of Bo Day. Third, 13J, James McCreary. 4th, 26 of Dean Abbey. And 5th, 24T of Tyler Bragg. Out of the car, taking the win, the 18B of Cody Smith. He's going to take home $1,000 more. Thanks to Shane Haber.
Moving on down the field to 147, the K-Man Kevin Webb, and next to him the 44, the Mopar Dennis Bowles, and we are racing. Zach Crawford trying to take up where he left off, and he pops at the lead right ahead of that 61 of Kelly Welburn, his teammate. And he gets the first lap with the 85 of Tim Simmons and the 21 of Gil Faber and the L8 of Chase Hatton side by side. And Chase Hatton is going to the front, ladies and gentlemen. He's already up into that 3rd spot. Got a good battle in the back down between the 6P Patrick Fields, our current points champion, and the 22 of Bobby Otts in the just ahead of him, the 147 of Kevin Webb, battling that 44, that Mopar of Dennis the Cobbler Bowles. Got a change in the leader right now as the 29 of Zach Crawford gets sandwiched by the L8 of Chase Hatton and the 61 of Kelly Welburn. In these early laps, the top 4 cars pulling away from the rest of the field, but here comes that 4X of Josh Landers trying to get up into the melee of the top cars. The 8, Chase Hatton getting the job done on the bottom, the 61 Kelly Welburn. The 29 Zach Crawford being challenged by Mr. Excitement, the 85 of Tim Simmons, as the 4X Josh Landers going up on the top side of the 29. Then farther back we got the 21 of Gil Faber next to the 44 Dennis Bowles, right ahead of the 6P Patrick Fields, and trying to thread the needle is the 22 of Bobby Otts between the 44 and the 21. As we reach halfway, the 8 car of Chase Hatton getting into some lap traffic with the 61, the Iceman Kelly Welburn holding down that second spot. The 85 Tim Simmons in third, the 29 Zach Big Bird Crawford in the fourth spot, being challenged by the 4X of Josh Landers. The 8 car, one of the pro mods out of the Arklatex racing area, Chase Hatton, he has got this thing down as the 61 trying to get on the bottom to catch him, but the 8 car is just fast, running in that middle lane of the racetrack as those 2 cars kind of pulled away from the rest of the field. The 29 Zach Big Bird Crawford in the third spot, the 4X Josh Landers holding down fourth. Then the 6P Patrick Fields moving up into the fifth spot. The 20 got a caution for a car parked in a precarious spot in turn number 2. As the cars will slow down, get everybody lined back up. Don't have a number on that car. It's the 07 Justin Wright out of Princeton, Texas. Points leader, the 6P Patrick Fields, and the 22 Fireball Bobby Otts. In the next row, the 21 Mr. Attitude Gil Faber and K-Man Kevin Webb in the 147. Then it'll be the 44 Dennis the Cobbler Bowles and the 71 Chad Anderson. The 49J Larry Bell, the 33 Shut it down. As we had some cars in a melee. Row the 29, Big Bird Zach Crawford, the 4X Josh Landers. In the next row, the 21, Mr. Attitude Gil Faber, and the 147 Kevin Webb. Then the 44 Dennis Bowles, the 71C Chad Anderson, the 07 Justin Wright, the 21X of Mr. Little Teeter Cole Landers. And then we've got the cars that were involved in that last incident, the 6P Patrick Fields, the 22 Bobby Otts, the 33 Keith Ross, and the 49J of Larry Bell. As we got a couple of laps left and we're going to be done here. Mr. Chase Hatton got a good lead on this thing. The 61 Kelly Welburn in that second spot. The 4X of Josh Landers challenging the 85 of Tim Simmons, Mr. Excitement. Then the 29 Zach Crawford, the 21 Gil Faber, The 44, the Mopar, is running great tonight, ahead of the 147 of Kevin Webb. But coming around for the checker, the 8, Chase Hatton. Then the 61, Kelly the Iceman Welburn. The 4X, Josh Lander. The 85, Mr. Excitement, Tim Simmons. The 29, Zach Big Bird Crawford. The 21, Gil Mr. Attitude Faber. Dennis Bowles, we call him the Cobbler. And the 44, the 147 of Kevin Webb as the race is over.
Yep.
Not that one. One right here. No, right over here. The next one.
All right, 50-50 is getting drawn right behind the flag stand right now. They're going to bring them up, so get your 50-50 tickets out because we're going to call out a number right now.
Everybody up on their feet, wave your hats, wave your hands, get your phones out, take some pictures. The Touring Outlaw Modified Series 4 wide at RPM Speedway. It don't get no better than that, Big A.
No, it does not. This is all for you, the fans, right here.
All this in memory of Mr. Bryan Mize, the 5th event in his honor. Once again, tonight's proceedings going to go out to support his kiddos. And we couldn't be happier to be a part of it, man. Modified Series Modifieds on the racetrack right now. Clyde Dunn Jr. and Max Eddie Thomas, your front row. What a front row that is, man.
It is, but look at that second row on the outside, the 15W and Kel Westover.
Hey, Michael Walker impressed me last week at TMS. The double green flag's in the air, and we're underway, Big A, off into turn number 1. And Clyde Dunn Jr. going to be your early race leader. Oh, we've got one around in turn number 1. That looks like Bo Day. Oh, man, what some bad luck for the driver out of Greenville, Texas tonight.
The setup, right? Because if not, this is going to be a long race.
It's an elbows up kind of deal, man, for sure. This is a cowboy up racetrack if there ever was one, and not necessarily because it's a bad racetrack. It's because of the shape. The size is so small. There's not a whole lot you can do. You really got to be aggressive as we get the green flag. Take number 2 on the modified main event. And look at Max Eddie Thomas up on the outside.
There's a better restart for the 82 and Max Eddie Thomas. He's going to stay right with the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr. into 3 and 4. He's going to get a little high this time. He's going to leave the door open for the 15W of Kel Westover.
Westover's taking a look to the inside. Looks like we've got another caution. We had 2 cars around over in turn number 1. Looks like it was the 161 going to bring out that yellow flag. That's Bradley Bracey in the 161 machine. So still no laps complete. It'll be a complete do-over one more time. We said it several times here tonight. Chris Hennigan has already picked up a big check here at RPM Speedway in the Ronnie Sigma Memorial. Got $4,800 for his efforts. He's looking for an even $5,000 here tonight. We are going green off of 4. And Clyde Dunn Jr. going to be your early race leader back into turn number 1. Here comes Thomas on the outside again. This time it's going to work. Max Eddie Thomas, your race leader off of 2.
It looks like the 88 XXX of Clyde Dunn Jr. got a little loose in 1 and 2. It's going to leave the door open for the 82 of Max Eddie Thomas as he's going to lead this lap coming down the front straightaway.
Lap number 1 in the books for the Quinlan, Texas racer. Thomas back top shelf. Here comes Kel Westover in that 15W machine. Clyde Dunn Jr., you're right, Big A, was a little bit loose through the transition in turns 1 and 2. I think he's got it figured out this time. His little freaky battling back on the bottom.
No, in 4th, the 34 of Michael Walker. He's getting pressured by the 16 of Chris Hennigan. Hennigan's like, I ain't going to wait around like I did the last race. I'm here to move forward.
Hennigan earned his spot in this race by racing in through a B main. He's had to work for it, and he's not going to quit right now. Gets around the 34 of Walker. He's up to 4th spot.
He's right there knocking on the back door of the 15W of Westover. In 2nd, the 82 of Thomas. Thomas is trying to get down to the bottom, but he just can't do it with West over there. 3 wide, contact, around goes to 16 of Hennigan. Hennigan sitting in turn 4, bringing out the caution.
Hennigan had a look to the bottom of the racetrack. He tried to get underneath Cal Westover. They went 3 wide there for a moment, and when they got together, Hennigan with nowhere to go on the bottom, unfortunately, I think it was the 2B getting into the back of the 16 machine. I think that was Billy Brierton. I don't think it was on purpose. There was just nowhere to go. They were so close together, and unfortunately, Hennigan going to go all the way around in the 16 machine. One of him, he doesn't have anybody on the outside or the inside. He's out front by himself as the leader, and this is a prime opportunity for Westover to get something done off the top of turn number 4. We're going to go green this time. Here we go. And Westover side by side with Thomas coming into turn number 1. Clyde Dunn Jr. going to be your race leader. And Westover going to get around Thomas on the exit of turn number 2.
But patiently and being quiet, moving up front is the 51 and Nicholas Littlejohn. He's up to 7th. He's trying to take over the 6th spot. Coming down the front straightaway, he's battling 6th and 8th spot with the 24 Emmanuel Williams.
Look up front, Big A. We're side by side, door to door into turn number 3. Clyde Dunn Jr. on the bottom. Altus, Oklahoma racer Kel Westover up top. It's going to be Junior off the bottom of turn number 4.
And we got them stacked deep in turn number 3 and 4. It looks like the 430 of Chase Jupe, the 2C of Chris Huckabee, and then there's a different one, the 11 of Lance Plant, and the 5X of Danny Ville. Tough luck between those 4 drivers. And, caution lights out, so we're going back green, but, X Eddie Thomas comes from a long line of talented racers in his family, so there's no surprise of the talent that he has.
46 laps remain here in the Bryan Mize Memorial Touring Outlaw Modified Series main event. And there he goes, Big A. Max Eddy going to go up to the outside, and Kel Westover going to lose that 2nd spot on the restart.
He's going to lose ground, and he may lose a position to the 34. Michael Walker into 3 and 4. He's going to see if that outside can work, and he's going to get a good run down the front straightaway to keep 3rd.
Westover got to find a rhythm here. He's going to go now to the middle of the racetrack, and the car does not seem to be very happy if it's not on the outside. Westover in danger of losing another spot down the backstretch into 3. Nicholas Littlejohn hanging on to that 6th spot right there, Big A. We watched him run from the B main, race his way up into the A. He's right now kind of ninjaing his way towards the top 5, but the battle on the track, the one that's raging, is the one for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Max Eddie Thomas, Kel Westover, and Michael Walker taking us to school here, putting on a show in the Touring Outlaw Modified Series main event.
And the one that's lacking that is your leader, the 88 XXX. He's like, okay, boys, you guys race back and forth. That's going to give me a distance to open up a lead on y'all. So y'all keep at it.
Yeah, Clyde Dunn Jr. just nice and easy around the bottom. Very smooth, very calm cockpit. The car not dancing around the racetrack very much. We've got some great racing mid-pack here. A good group of 3 cars. Look at Tristan Dykes working his way up through the field. He's up to 7th on the racetrack, Big A.
You see that purple car moving forward, too. The 56 of Troy Taylor. He's starting to creep forward, too.
Taylor up to the 6th spot. Dykes now going to be 7th. Littlejohn going to slip back to 8th. Now, look back up front, Big A. We go into turn number 3. Michael Walker doing battle with Max Eddie Thomas. Walker going to take over the 3rd spot. Thomas back to 4th. Westover's back up to 2nd.
Yeah, Westover drove it in a little too hard in 3 and 4 and lost a little ground during your leader. He was right there at him, and then he drove it in too hard, and he was able to, your leader was able to drive away from him.
Lil Freaky is really back in that corner way up. You can see him settle the car down right here going into turn number 1. The car settles easily. He drives it into the first corner nice and straight and just gets a good dig off the exit at turn number 2. Look, once again, the car settles down into turn number 3. He rotates nicely back up on the throttle and on the bars off of 4. Westover's going to have to do something to close that gap here in the next couple of laps.
And Clyde Dunn Jr. in the 88 XXX, he's another driver that has many laps turned here at this bull ring. He knows the way around it. He knows when it slicks off around here like it is now, what to do and how to do it. And he's not, you know better than I do. He's ran against the best.
Absolutely.
He knows what to do.
Absolutely. Sometimes slow is fast, and unfortunately it looks like it's going to be a little too slow for Nicholas Littlejohn. The 51 pulls into the infield, but Clyde Dunn Jr. working the bottom side of the racetrack. Still nice, calm, cool, collected. We've got a lot of space before we hit lap traffic, and we've got one around over in turn number 3. Big A looks like the 14Z of Zach McMillan. McMillan going to go around over in turn number 3. That'll bring us out another caution here for the Touring Outlaw Modified Series main event.
Sitting in the 5th spot, the 2B of Billy Brierton. He's running a quiet race, sitting there in 5th, and he's been in 5th all race long.
We'll see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. The green flag going to come out, and you're right, exactly right, Big A. Pushing Michael Walker to the outside made him uncomfortable. The car slipped up. Here comes Max Eddie Thomas on the inside, now down the backstretch into 3.
Westover trying to take a peek on the outside of the 88 of Clyde Dunn Jr., see if he can get a good run out of 4. He's not going to be able to, but
Westover's going to have to be aggressive. That was a little bit too much that time. You saw him dab the brakes through the middle to try to get the car to settle down. Cale's going to have to be aggressive here, maybe use up the tires a little bit in this 50-lapper to get out in front of Clyde Dunn Jr. And then once you're out front, you can be defensive. Right now, it is all about going and going as quickly as possible, and Westover letting it all hang out on the outside, Big A.
A good battle for 5th between the 14T of Tristan Dacus and the 2B of Billy Brierton. Dacus on the low line. He's making that low line work really well for him right now.
Man, they are 2 wide, 3 rows deep off of turn number 4, side by side for 3rd, side by side for 5th, and side by side for 7th as we go into turn number 1.
Look up front, a good run down the back straightaway by the 15W Kel Westover. Let's see if he can do it again down the front straightaway.
Westover pulled even with Clyde Dunn Jr. down the backstretch. The south end of the racetrack seems to be a lot better for the Altus, Oklahoma racer. That's a good run off the top of turn number 2. Westover, your leader, coming into 3.
He's going to do it again out of 4. He's side by side at the line going down to turn number 1. A good battle for the lead, the 88 of Clyde Dunn Jr. in the 15W, Kel Westover, side by side down the back straightaway.
I guarantee, Big A, as soon as Westover clears Clyde Dunn Jr. down the back straightaway, you're going to see him go to the bottom of the racetrack. I would almost bet money on it. He's got to get down there and protect that bottom line, because right now Westover is beating up those rear tires on that 15 machine, and if he does it for too many more laps, he's not going to have anything left later on.
Yeah, as hard as them 2 guys up front are racing, when does tire wear start coming into play?
Now. It comes into play now. If you're Kel Westover, that's what you've got to be thinking about. Again, he's just beating them up on the outside of this racetrack. He's trying his best to get in front of the 88 XXX, and Clyde Dunn Jr.'s not having to race a lot harder than he was before.
Yeah, and sitting right there, you know, he's probably smiling right now. It's the 34 of Michael Walker. He's liking them guys running side by side, hoping and they use up their equipment that at the closing laps he can start reeling them in.
That's exactly what's going through Walker's mind at this point. We got to look back at the 16 machine of Winnigan, Chris Hennigan, up to the 7th spot on the racetrack right now. He's stuck a little bit. The battle's still raging for the top spot. Man, that is the place to watch.
A good run again for the 15W down the back straightaway. It seems like he has turned 2 and the back straightaway really well. He just needs to get the front straightaway working for him as they're side by side down the front straightaway.
Did you see Clyde Dunn Jr. slide up a little bit in turn number 3? He knows that Westover's there. He's making Cale work for it. Watch him drive up the racetrack down the backstretch into turn number 3. He'll do it again here in the middle. You see the car drift up a little bit. He's trying to slide Cale Westover to the wall. We're halfway home, 25 laps complete.
And while they're doing that, I noticed that gap between 1st and 2nd, 3rd is getting a lot smaller.
Michael Walker reeling these boys in. He's watching them race hard. He's like, I'm biding my time. I'm being patient. We've still got 24 laps to go right here. Walker's got a lot of time to make his way up, close that gap, and challenge for the top spot. I'd bet you money that if it comes down to the last 5 or 10 laps, Walker's going to be a lot faster than these guys up front.
Oh, no, that's a guarantee. And trying to work around the 82 of Max Eddie Thomas is the 14T of Tristan Dacus. He's trying to do all he can to get around him. But right now, the race is up front. Your leader, the 88, Westover hit the wall. He's going to lose some ground on the leader.
Lucky for Cale Westover, they both made a mistake. The 88 XXX was real snug on the entry that time, and it forced Clyde Dunn Jr. to get on the brakes. You see now, Westover back down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. He goes back top shelf on the south side in 1 and 2. Look who's closing the gap, Big A. Michael Walker has cut it in half down the backstretch.
Yep, he's looking, he's starting to reel him back in, but here comes Westover. He's working that low line. We'll see if he'll put a little bumper to the 88 of Clyde Dunn Jr., but look what's in front of Clyde Dunn Jr. going down the back straightaway.
We got 4 cars worth of lap traffic. The leaders are going to catch him if there isn't a caution. If you're Cale Westover, now you can see he's trying to make moves he wasn't making before. You talked about a little bit of bumper. There it was, brother, right there.
We'll see if they can put a little bumper to him and they go get in the lap traffic. But man, sitting pretty right now has to be the 34 Michael Walker.
Absolutely. He's got the best seat in the house. The 2 guys in front of him are driving their butts off. They are beating up these race cars, especially Westover. He is using up those tires, and things are going to change here real quick if Westover can't make the move and get out in front. Westover still working the top side of the racetrack off of turn number 2. Going to go down to the bottom this time in 3 and 4. He's changed that lineup quite a bit. It hasn't really worked out for him. And Michael Walker now closing the gap on Westover off of turn number 4.
He's inch by inch closing that gap on the top 2 cars. It looks like Westover starting to lose ground on the leader, but he gets a good run into 3 and 4. He has to back out because he was about to plow the back bumper of Clyde Dunn Jr.
Westover saved the tires as long as he could. He started working them hard about 10 laps ago, and you can see the effect that it's had. He's losing ground off of turn number 2, and that used to be where he was better. The south end used to be the best end for Westover. Now he's going to be a lot easier coming into turn number 3, and that's allowed Michael Walker to close the gap. We're about to have a 3-car race for the lead, $5,000 on the line for the Touring Outlaw Modified Series right now.
And lap traffic is about to come in play real heavy for the leader of the 88 XXX Clyde Dunn Jr. And Westover is right there. And right there on the back bumper of second place is the 34 Michael Walker.
All 3 of these cars going to have to go top shelf into turn number 1. Walker underneath Cale Westover for a second spot down the backstretch.
Westover with a good run. He's going to hold him off. He's going to try to duck down back low to hold him off. He's going to keep the spot.
Westover has used up that race car. He is having to work so much harder now, and we've got Chris Huckabee slow on the backstretch. We'll see if Chris takes it off the racetrack, and we're going to stay green. Huckabee off the racetrack, but like I said, Westover has used up that race car. Here comes Walker now on the outside off of 4.
He made him push really high. He lost a little ground, but let's see if he can close it back in. What that happened just now with the 2C, all the drivers had to go back low, and that helped Clyde Dunn Jr. right then.
Absolutely, that lap traffic coming into play. All 3 of the top 3 cars getting around Kevin Rutherford off of turn number 4. I say that, and now Michael Walker's having to deal with a lap car. Having to deal with that 9 machine is costing him ground on Cale Westover. Westover's still got about 2 car lengths to make up down the back chute. The next car to be a lap down is going to be the 11 car of Lance Plant. We come back into turn number 3 and off of 4, and Clyde Dunn Jr. now has got Westover breathing down his neck again.
And Hennigan in the 16s up to the 5th spot. He's moving forward, and this lap traffic is helping him close the gap. Look how close he is to the leader. He's out of 2. They're going into 3. He is closing the gap really fast.
The top 5 cars are all on the same straightaway right now, and Clyde Dunn Jr. goes to work on the 11 of Lance Plant. Both of those drivers, I believe, going to get around off of turn number 2. I was wrong. Neither of them make the pass. Clyde Dunn Jr. now got his hands full again with lap traffic. The interesting thing is the cars are really even. They're really, really close. Westover, just as I say that, going to lose a lot of ground, nearly a straightaway on your leader as we come back into turn number 1. Michael Walker's been right there for about the last 15 laps as we go back down the backstretch into turn number 3 one more time.
Nine laps to go.
8 laps left that time by the start-finish line for Cale Westover. That driver from Altus, Oklahoma, he's got to make one final charge, Big A, to take the top spot, but I don't know if he's got any race car left.
I think he's used everything up he had, and, for $5,000, you can't blame the guy. But they better get, Clyde Dunn Jr. better hope he can finish this race before he can get to the 47 of Jack Sarton, because Jack Sarton, as competitive as he is, he's not going to move over out of the way and let Clyde Dunn Jr. pass him. He's going to have to work on that pass, and that could be what's going to hurt Clyde Dunn Jr.
It very well could, Big A. We got an interesting situation coming up here with the 14 of Zach McMillan and the 211 of Chase Hatton. We've got 5 laps to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 2 lap cars side by side right in front of your leader, Clyde Dunn Jr. We've got a bit of a gap between first and second, Michael Walker. Big A right there leaning on the 15 machine of Kel Westover as we come into turn number 3.
And it's starting to wonder, because he's not advancing forward, how much equipment Michael Walker has used up trying to reel in the 88 of Clyde Dunn Jr. and the 15W of Westover those laps several laps ago.
Maybe in a similar situation. You're exactly right. The 34 may be starting to fade. I think these drivers may be where we are as Clyde Dunn Jr. takes a risk. I don't know that I would have right there. Getting around the 14Z of Zach McMillan. They were 3 wide, real close quarters racing off of turn number 4. And now Westover nearly losing the handle on the 15W machine. Going to be coming to 2 to go this time around. Big A, bring us on home.
2 to go out front. The 88 Triple X Clyde Dunn Jr. Looks like there's brothers with the 47 of Jack Sarton. He's off the pace. He's going to keep it moving, though. It's done. Westover and Walker, that's your top 3 cars as they go down the back straightaway.
Clyde Dunn Jr. been your leader nearly every single lap of this race since the drop of the green flag. He's just got 1 more quarter mile, and you watch this place erupt when that 88 Triple X machine crosses the finish line.
He is a fan favorite, and he's about to take home $5,000.
Barring catastrophe, final time into turn number 3. The patient race is paid off for the 88 Triple X of Clyde Dunn Jr. $5,000 richer in the 5th annual Bryan Mize Memorial. Second spot going to be Kel Westover. A valiant effort by the driver out of Oklahoma. And how about it for the 34 of Michael Walker? Max Eddie Thomas in 4th. Winning and Chris Hennigan from 6th to the back to 5th.
Man, that just shows what kind of wheelman the 16 of Chris Hennigan is. But, man, what a race for the 88 Triple X of Clyde Dunn Jr. and the 15W of Kel Westover. Them 2 guys there put on an amazing show.
Clyde Dunn Jr. climbing out of the race car, makes some noise with the driver of the 88 Triple X machine. $5,000 richer tonight. Lil Freaky getting it done here at RPM. Field for the 19-car factory stock main event is going to be the 55C of Charlie Wilson. It looks like all 19 cars have made the call, Big A. We are ready to take the green flag, and I think we're going to do it right here off of turn number 4.
Caution lights is out. We'll be going green. Watch second and third row. Some heavy hitters right there. We're going green this time.
Robert Vetter, your Polson are going to win the drag race down the front stretch into turn number 1. The 123 of Brett Jensen, not going to let him get away with it that easily. Look at the run for Jensen on the outside. Here comes Chris Davis on the bottom.
Chris Davis said, I ain't going to let y'all get out too far ahead, but following him on the low line, the 14X of Josh Landers. Landers getting that low line, working underneath the 28 of Dustin Sprouse.
This is what makes factory stock racing some of the best competitive racing in this area. We got 2 cars around in turn number 1. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to stay green.
And look up front, a good battle. Chris Davis jumped on the outside to see if he can make that pass. Coming down the front straightaway, it's side by side into the 123 of Jensen and the 98 of Chris Davis.
What a feather in the cap it would be to the 123 of Brett Jensen to get this thing done and beat Chris Davis at his own game.
Man, that would be, but the look that the 98 Chris Davis has had all year, if he could come out and win the Bryan Mize Memorial to have some momentum in the offseason, this would be a good cap-off for them too.
And there's the run off of turn number 2. Davis, your new race leader. Jensen in the 2nd spot. Vetter is 3rd. 4th is Sprouse. And how about Landers in that 5th spot?
Yeah, Robert Vetter, he's losing some ground over the top 2 cars, but the 14X of Josh Landers, he's trying to move forward. And watch out for that 87J of Tommy Davis Jr. He's moving ahead with the 1K of Kevin Ramey.
Kevin Ramey struggling there a little bit mid-pack into turn number 3. We jump back up front. It's still Chris Davis out in the top spot. Jensen in the 2nd position in that 123. We got a good battle for 4th. Look at Dustin Sprouse on the outside now.
Dustin Sprouse, he's trying to make it work with the 14X of Josh Landers. Landers is nobody to overlook. He's a good, strong competitor. But Dustin Sprouse, he's not, he'll be right there with you. He's not going to give you an inch no matter who you are.
You know, the thing that's awesome about these factory stock drivers is that they don't care who you are. You got some really famous, some well-known sprint car drivers in this race, and these boys that run these factory stocks week in and week out do not care who they are. This is factory stock world. It is factory stock racing, and anybody is anybody.
They don't care. Just like Josh Landers, he's cut his teeth on the modified open wheel.
Absolutely.
And they don't care about him, but he's come out and he's won races. He's very respected around of his other competitors, but, they're like, hey, you're just the same as us, and I'm coming out here to beat you.
You got to earn your stripes, man. Like we said, it doesn't matter what division you've raced in before. When you step into that factory stock machine, you step into a whole nother world of racing right here, Bubba. It is rough, it is tumble, and they'll lean on you a little bit.
And we got a car around the 222, but he's going to back up out of the way. We stay green. Good job by Cowart to stay green.
Absolutely. Jerry Cowart backing it into the infield, going to get it pointed back in the right direction and stab the throttle. Your leader, Chris Davis, working some lap traffic now off of turn number 4. That looks like the 17T of Dustin Thomas in danger of going a lap down here. Davis going to look to the inside of turns 1 and 2. That was close. Thomas saw it on the wheel in that 17 machine. Great job to avoid contact.
But speaking of Dustin Sprouse, a few minutes ago, he's up to third. He got around the 14X and the 10W. He's up to third, and he's got his eyes set on the 123 of Jensen.
Sprouse may have the fastest car on the racetrack right now, Big A. He's got about 9 laps to go to get to the front. Sprouse working the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Has a good run off the exit of the second corner. I really think that 28 is the fastest machine out there right now.
Like I said, he hasn't had very much luck this 2019 season, just like Chris Davis. So for him to have a good finish here tonight, we'll give him some more confidence going through the rest of the big shows and into next year.
And I think that's a good point you bring up there, Big A, is these drivers they need that confidence boost going into the offseason, because you got to still want to do this. And if your season ends on a sour note, that just makes it that much more difficult to get out in the shop, fix the car, get it ready for the next race season. When you got to work that much harder, it just makes it that much more difficult to do.
And it is, and like I said, the 98 of Chris Davis and his crew chief, his cousin Donnie Guznew, they put many hours in the shop week in and week out, and that takes a toll after a while to have as many bad nights as they have, to go in the off season with more under their belt.
Cole had his hands folded over there behind you for a second. I know he's saying a little prayer to the Lord up above, trying to get Chris Davis to the finish line. He's way out in front right now, but we've still got about 5 laps or so left in this race, and, man, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything that happened, but that 98 of Chris Davis, he's out there, he's putting on a clinic right now, and this is his kind of track, though. When it slicks off, it turns black. He's going to school people. You better get a pen and paper out, because he's going to take you to school.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, this is my kind of racetrack too. I absolutely love watching a dry, slick racetrack. Don't get me wrong, I'm a sprint car guy. I know they need some moisture, but this kind of racing on this kind of track is what it's all about to me. You're exactly right. This is where you find out who's got that throttle control, who's got that car control, and who does their homework in the shop to get that set up right during the week.
Yeah, and he has one of the best crew chiefs out there, Donnie Gosdale. Like I said, just doing. But look at this battle for second with 2 laps to go. Good battle for second with the 123 of Jensen and the 28 of Dustin Sprouse.
Absolutely, we do have 2 laps to go. You're exactly right, Big A. Sprouse going to look to the outside of Jensen off of turn number 2. That is the hottest battle on the racetrack right now. The white flag going to be in the air for Chris Davis off of turn number 4. Sprouse to the outside.
That's going to be a good finish right here. Coming to the white flag with the 123 of Jensen and the 28 of Sprouse and the 10W.
Robert Vetter in that 4th spot. One more set of corners coming off of turn 4 for the final time. Chris Davis going to pick up the big check in the 5th annual Bryan Mize Memorial Factory Stock feature. 2nd spot going to be Jensen in the 123. Sprouse going to round out the podium. He's out of the race car, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for the driver of the 98 machine, Mr. Chris Davis. Folks, once again, one more time, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. All of you watching at home at raceontexas.com, thank you for grabbing the broadcast, purchasing the pay-per-view tonight. Thank you for your support of the races, both here at the racetrack and at home. If you can't make it out, we appreciate you supporting us at raceontexas.com. Once again, on behalf of the rest of the crew here at RPM Speedway, my name's Nick Robbins. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Big win for Chris Davis. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.